second round of the playoffs. Oh, man. I am coming in fresh, so we have no idea what's going to come out of my mouth. I am going to keep it a buck. I was pulling so fucking hard for the Nuggets in this one, just for the legacy and plot and all of it. What is up, guys? Welcome back to Think Shank. I don't even know what time it is. I don't even know my name. We had to jump in right after what was probably the most magnificent comeback of the decade. And I'm going to read this to you off of my Twitter. No rest off of Game 7 that came on Saturday in a grueling 7-game series against the Clippers. I think they finished as the third or fourth top-rated defense to then move on 48 hours later into the building against the number 1 rated defense, a historic one, the leader in virtually every single defensive category, doubted in that previous series as well against the Clippers, playing the Oklahoma City Thunder in Paycom Arena, notoriously one of the 3-4-ish top most hostile places to play in the NBA. The MVP boxing ring that everybody is going to be circling around and chatting in circles about, Jokic and SGA. The Russell Westbrook hometown return to the land where he got his start, got his MVP, the newest city in the current NBA to get an NBA team. The Sonics moved in 08, rolling out a 7-man rotation. Sure, Julian Strawther got in there for 6 minutes, but that didn't last very long. So really about 7 deep. The Thunder go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I guess 10 if you count Jalen Williams. Even Isaiah Joe, who played the second least amount of minutes, was at 13. Julian Strawther was at less than half of that. Shai Gilgeous playing 40 minutes. Jalen Williams playing 38 minutes. And then the next highest was Lou Dort with 30 minutes. Denver goes Nikola Jokic, 42 minutes, Jamal Murray, 44 minutes, Christian Brown, 40, Westbrook, 30, Michael Porter Jr., 24, Peyton Watson, 15. Not that much of a bench versus a very, very deep bench that Dagnall has more than proven over the length of his career. He's more than willing to rapidly cycle mini lineups and get guys in and out very quickly. Foul trouble for Jokic, Hardenstein, Chet Holmgren. You got a flagrant one on Nikola Jokic. You got chess match free throws up by 3. The OKC Thunder are playing the free throw math, and Alex Caruso is fouling everybody right away on the catch. You have clutch free throws from Nikola Jokic and Aaron Gordon. You have Nikola Jokic not being in the game for the first inbounds because he was sitting on 5 fouls, so they literally couldn't afford to have him out there. An incredible play run for SGA. He gets an untouched layup in the game. Run that back the second time. You have a twisted on the inbounds, too deep for a back slap from the inbounds that Caruso could have done. Jokic was too far away from the sideline for it to really work. And then you had virtually a buzzer beater by Aaron Gordon with a fast break and 7 seconds left off of a missed free throw by Chet Holmgren at home. And now the Nuggets have stolen home court.
It rims out. Brown grabs it. 7 seconds left. Westbrook, 5 seconds. They're down by 1. Gordon got it. Aaron Gordon with a deep shot. Williams, 3-quarter court.
I need a cigarette and a long-ass drive in complete silence just to fucking let this soak in. Holy shit. So I'm kind of freestyling this right now. Normally I record this in the morning, but I'm just not gonna be able to sleep tonight, so we're just gonna roll ahead with this. Oh my God, I'm so tired though. See, I'm usually asleep. Probably the best comeback of the decade, given all of that context. We have a historical defense, no rest. It's just unreal. The game itself, let's double click on the game trends. Kicking off to start the game, a really strong transition focus for both teams. The ironic part of this is OKC Thunder generated about a fifth of all of its points off of turnovers. It led the league in that, it has a historic mark in forcing them, and that was clearly an adjustment that the Nuggets had to acclimate to, and against most teams, especially at home, that is a huge advantage for the Thunder. They are notoriously undersized and purposefully establish their physicality early in the game, leveraging their undersizedness, similar to the classic Draymond Green playing a small ball center, but mauling the absolute fuck out of people because he knows he can. Huge strategic point of emphasis that the Thunder do. They frustrate you, they're intentionally handsy, but they know they're small and they'll get away with it. And that's kind of what happened leading into the second quarter. 30 seconds into the second quarter, OKC had already played 10 guys. In and of itself is a huge indicator of another source of advantage that the Thunder have, which is depth and the interchangeability or dexterity of these guys in a variety of micro lineups that Mark Daigneault has effectively made a hallmark of his career, dating back to the G League team for OKC that none other than Alex Caruso was one of his players. Thunder go on a 27-9 run in that second quarter by dominating that physicality game. Again, that acclimation process. And even throughout that, one of the things that stuck out to me was Peyton Watson, who gets the nod from David Adelman. Only 15 minutes, and honestly, I'm kind of surprised because I felt like his time on the floor was pretty loud. I have to applaud Adelman for that. I thought he did a tremendous job flying around and kind of imposing his own sort of rebuttal to that hawkish, everywhere boogeyman sense of defensive pressure, primarily on Shai Gilgeous. He gets some nice burn into that second quarter. Obviously comes with a trade-off on the offensive end. Thunder are leveraging to peel off of, similar to Russell Westbrook, and just maul the piss out of Jokic the second he gets the ball inside of 18 feet, as one would expect. Little shaky for MPJ as well. He had a couple turnovers early, one of which was very jarring. I know the shoulder is hurt, but there was a clear over and back that I guess he just didn't really care about. The really sick Aaron Gordon dunk all over Chet's face and drawing the third personal foul on Chet really set in motion an enormous undercurrent theme of this game, which was the fouling issue that the Thunder found themselves with. And yes, with all of that undersized physicality I mentioned before, it does come at a price. They give up the most number of free throws to their opponents, but at the same time, they have a historically good defense because you can't call every foul. Everybody knows that. Before halftime, the Thunder reached their biggest lead of the game of 14 points, which frankly, given the ebbs and flow of the game, is pretty remarkable in and of itself because just energy-wise or momentum-wise, there were surely moments where it felt like the Nuggets were down around 20, maybe even more than that. Go to halftime, up 8. Caruso is just an absolute maniac. I don't even know what this dude finished with. Dude, I'm just gonna give you the punchline here. He finishes with 20 points, which in and of itself, I don't have time to look this up in the data, but I don't even know the last time that dude has even scored 20 points in a game. I don't even know if he's done that on the Thunder. He probably has, but it can't be more than a handful of times. 6 assists, 5 steals, and 2 blocks. You had at the 9-10 minute mark, he was sitting on 10 points, 4 steals for Caruso, a couple huge ones in transition. I'm sure this is going to be an adjustment, but just an absolute weapon and like a shark from behind in transition. He just loves when the opposing team is trying to play the reverse Uno card and push in transition, and he's just going to come up behind you and rip the ball. It's just part of his game, and I'm sure this is going to be an adjustment for the Nuggets going forward. Jokic getting exasperated, trying to block out both Hardenstein and Chet from the rebounds. Obviously, it's going to be impossible for him to do that. About halfway through the third quarter, there is a 13-5 turnover discrepancy in favor of the Thunder. Jokic gets his 4th foul with 6 minutes and 24 seconds left in the third quarter. A really weird challenge call about David Adelman to try and get the foul on Chet, who clearly grabs Jokic's arm while they're running, imbuing some physicality to slow down Jokic in the fast break. It was clear as fucking day. I don't know for sure why they decided to not neutralize that. I mean, sure, Jokic clearly is frustrated and then whacks into Chet from that. It was a very smart play by Chet, using his body essentially to block what he's actually doing, because these are 2 gigantic human beings running side by side. Adelman tries to challenge it, fucking doesn't get it, which then results in Jokic getting his 4th foul. And this is where you get the start of the chess match and impact of the personal fouls starting to rack up. And one of the most insane runs of free throws that I have seen in an NBA game starts with a ridiculous Jokic and one where he just becomes a fucking rhinoceros and takes this in for an and one, breaks the fucking free throw. Aaron Gordon gets the rebound, and then he gets fouled, drawing Chet's 4th foul. Hardenstein was already on the bench with 4 fouls. Russ gets free throws after that. Denver is now in the bonus for the rest of the third quarter, which is more than 3 minutes from that point on. And then Russ kind of takes the game over in that third quarter with all of his finishing and slashing, particularly knowing how much the Thunder are sagging off of him. And I mentioned this before in the Clippers series, but there is an interesting dilemma that you face when you sag off of guys like Westbrook and even Aaron Gordon, where you effectively just give them a runway to just sprint after their own misses or other guys' misses. Guys that are that strong and quick and athletic are just going to be hard to stop when they have that runway. Cheating in and slashing in and getting nice dimes from Murray, from Jokic, and doing an awesome job. 50 seconds left. He hits a huge 3 to cut the OKC lead to 5 points and giving him 17 points. 30 seconds later, you had a disrespectful Peyton Watson recovery block, giving the Thunder a taste of their own medicine. Denver chipping away with all of these free throws to bring it to within 5 points going into the fourth quarter. And then we just really get some nonsense starting to come out of nowhere. Caruso at this point is the human torch and cannot miss a 3. Somehow Peyton Watson hits a return fire 3. Caruso continues to get all these behind the play strips, catching the Nuggets defense slacking. Everybody on the team is really trying to push in transition. Obviously, the trade-off there is you have to be sure you're getting these defensive rebounds. And if you happen to not get them, you have to be sprinting the fuck back to stop uncontested layups, which is exactly what Jalen Williams is going to do. And you got one of my favorite parts of the entire game, which was Russell Westbrook doing his best Fred VanVleet imitation, where he has to foul jdub because literally he's the only one back. And he just starts fucking screaming at the rest of the Nuggets on the court to wake up, just like VanVleet did in Game 7 to the Rockets. I just love those kinds of moments a lot. Jokic manages to rest for 2 minutes and 5 seconds into the fourth quarter before OKC pushes the lead to 10 because they had gone on an 8-3 run and Denver sucks absolute horsecock without Jokic on the floor. Mora, Hardenstein, Chet, they're just swapping in and out, giving the Daniel Gafford, Derek Lively constantly cycling through centers and letting them just go balls to the wall while they are in there. Jokic tries some threes and has absolutely no lift. 8 minutes and 16 seconds left is when the fourth team foul for Denver kicks in. The script gets completely flipped. Russ with some turnovers trying to force some home run passes under the rim, which everyone knows is exactly what OKC wants to invite you to do. Closing out on the midway point, Jokic gets called for a flagrant 1 foul for elbowing Lou Dort in the back of the head. My personal take, just looking at it live, I am coming into this video completely fresh, so I haven't watched any of the replays yet. It looked to me like Jokic getting visibly frustrated with the level of physicality Lou Dort was imbuing on him, but B, Jokic is 8-9 inches taller than Lou Dort, meaning his fucking elbows are at this man's head. Clearly, if you're getting up under him and he's trying to make space, it's just not gonna be a good time. In my boomer bag where I couldn't help but think to myself, if this was in the 90s, Lou Dort would get laughed at and be told, you fucking asked for that, because why the hell are you on the court trying to defend a big man who is 60 pounds, 8 inches bigger than you? But of course, we play in 2025 and physicality on the perimeter is outlawed. So also halfway through the fourth quarter was the 27th field goal attempt for Jokic, which is fucking bonkers. 27 shots is pretty much like a Kobe playoff game, and we still have half of the fourth quarter to go. If that's any indication of how much this man was carrying. That really crazy Chet missed dunk, I low-key think was a bit of a momentum swinger, because that would have put them up, I think, like 6 or 8, which at that point would have, I don't know. Cut that. I don't know what the score was at that point. It felt like Jokic pulled a trap door under him, and Jokic was sitting on 5 fouls at that point because of the flagrant missed a dunk at 7-1, and then he hung on the rim slightly, which thus became a turnover. Even more to add insult to injury, Jokic draws Chet Holmgren's 5th personal foul on a 3-point rip through. This dude is so deep in his bag and so fucking exhausted at this point. He is trying everything and anything to win and tilt this game. So that is huge. And then 24 seconds after that, he draws Hardenstein's 5th foul, running off ball and getting the Hardenstein trying to slow him down from running around doing a Steph Curry impression of looping under the fucking rim. What are we talking about right now? He's drawn the 5th personal foul on the other team's only 2 opposing centers within 24 seconds of each other, heading into the last 5 minutes of this game. Mind you, with the physicality, resulted in only the 6th and 7th free throws for Nikola Jokic in this game, which is wild. He goes 1 for 2, having these weird spells at the free throw line. Shai Gilgeous hits a soaking wet step back 3 with 4.5 minutes left, then proceeds to pull this absolutely hilarious move where he begs Mark Dagnall to call a challenge on a loose ball, kind of going up for the rebound play, blatantly holds Jokic's arm, which was visible even through the television. Dagnall goes ahead to call the challenge, and literally seconds later, SGA runs over to him like, no, stop. And Mark's like, dog, I already did it. And they fucking lose it. And now they don't have a challenge going into the last 4 minutes of this neck-and-neck fucking game because SGA thought he was going to get the remnant of the call knowing he did grab the shit out of Jokic's arm, and that, my friends, is called karma. It's a 7-point game with just under 4 minutes to go. SGA and iHeart have a magnificent two-man game. I really love their chemistry inside of that nail area. Jokic attacking SGA up the ass, knowing also that iHeart has 5 fouls, and he is just doing the epitome of the Incredible Hulk in this game. There is no chance anybody has enough size to guard him, and the only guy on the floor that can is sitting on 5 fouls, and the only other guy on their team that can is also sitting on 5 fouls on the bench. Russ draws a foul from behind on Caruso. They are now looking at a 16-7 Denver run between the 6.5 mark and 1:30 left. Jokic scores his 15th point of the fourth quarter with 90 seconds to go. Jokic hits a face-up 3 over Hardenstein's outstretched fucking arm to cut the lead to 1 with a minute left. They get the stop, and the Nuggets have a chance, down by 1, to take the lead with 43 seconds to go. Jokic deep in the clock at the top of the ring, clearly tired of shit, trusts Russell Westbrook with the shot, bricks the fuck out of it. Aaron Gordon gets the rebound, goes up, an incredible recovery block by Jalen Williams. And I have to say, Aaron Gordon, you have to either dive the fuck into the contact like a bull or kick the ball out. He got the offensive board, maybe around, 8 feet on the baseline, tries a spin. But that moment in the game, it was clear he thought he could skirt the actual contact and still finish. Russ ends up fouling, leading to Oklahoma City taking the lead with 12.9 seconds left. The first inbounds play, SGA gets an untouched layup with Jokic off the court because he is also at 5 fouls and they can't afford him being the one giving that last foul. Obviously, they need him and they know they're going to try to foul as soon as they get the ball inbounds. OKC is only up 1. And this is where the free throw game comes into play. Caruso fouling right on the inbounds after the free throws right away, not even giving the Nuggets a chance to even get a 3-pointer off. They go ahead, hit more clutch free throws. Aaron Gordon does, that is. Then the same thing ensues this time where OKC takes a timeout, inbounds on the other end, and Jokic pulls a fucking Houdini and spins in his place too far away from the sideline for Caruso to throw it off of his back, basically playing free safety and watching everything with Caruso behind him. They get it into Chet Holmgren, who misses both free throws, and so now the Thunder have just a 1-point lead, and Christian Brown takes the rebound off of the Chet miss, hit ahead to Russell Westbrook, who makes up for his previous miss off the same exact left wing to take the lead previously with 30 seconds left or whatever it was. And Aaron Gordon hits a 3 to put them up 2 with basically 2 seconds left and wins the fucking game to steal home court and the first game of the series against a historic 11-12 guy deep Oklahoma City team that hadn't played basketball in 9 fucking days after coming off a Game 7 2 days previously against the 4th best defense in the NBA, only playing 7 guys in actuality. And somehow this team maintains the composure of a championship pedigree and destined team to squeak out this win and overcome the fouling math game and all of the fatigue and walk out of there with the second heart attack game winner of the playoffs. And it is only the second round. Holy fucking shit, is this series going to be magic?